Did you know an SMS is read within 3 minutes of delivery? And that SMS is still the #1 business communication tool? Let Agility help you connect with your customers with a cheap and effective SMS solution. As one of Australia's top business SMS providers, Agility helps you and your business deliver your message, track campaign success, and drive customer action. Visit agility.com.au or call 1300 764 451 and chat to Peter and his team to see how SMS can help your business. Agility, proud sponsors of the Uzo Talk podcast. There's no Uzo Talk without a bottle of Uzo, which is why we love the Greek Providor. Get a real taste of the very best produce that Greece has to offer. From olive oils and delicious artisan sweets to unique spirits, earthy herbs and memorable wines. Visit thegreekprovidor.com.au to see their amazing range. The Greek Providor, proud sponsors of the Uzo Talk podcast.
Sound is.
I don't think I've ever asked you this question, Nick, but how are your dancing skills? I mean, are you the type that easily gets dragged into the middle of a circle to do a Zeibekiko at a wedding, or are you the one that usually pulls back or tries to get out of it?
It depends what generation you're talking about, Tom, but in my 20s, definitely. I was up there, I was spinning kicks, slapping my foot around, I was the man. Now, forget it.
Really?
I'm a good robot dancer now, but that's about it.
Is it all the knees?
It's the knees, the ankles, years of football, probably my age, I think. Yeah, that's it all the time. You know, 50 now, so yeah, I can't dance like I used to. But I always get jealous when I see people dance like that. I go, fuck, I wish I could dance like that. I could be like that. I'm the one sitting at the front watching. But yeah, good luck trying to drag me out of a chair these days.
Well, with no cartilage in your knees, we can sort of give you an exemption. Pa me paso. But look, I'm definitely the one pulling back. You know, I'm terrible at dancing. And to get out of it, I have a standard line, which is, that's not the way I express myself. Yeah. I'd rather be the one playing the music, singing and playing guitar and whatnot. And it's worked well for me up until this point, because I don't really get dragged in. Classic. Sometimes I have to, though.
But there is something about when you do dance, especially the Zeibekiko, right? Because I remember once we were at Steki and the music came on, we were drinking, and I don't normally dance, but I got up and it felt great. It felt like there was no one around. It was just me and the music. Sometimes you got your eyes closed, your hands are waving, and it's hard to describe that feeling. But look, I guess we've got people in the room that can probably tap into that a bit more.
Well, I was going to say, that zone that you're talking about there, you know, that's one of the things. It's almost like a trance-like state that you get into. And we've got people in the room, much smarter people than us when it comes to this sort of stuff, who can talk about it at length. So, our first guest today is a renowned dance teacher, choreographer and performer who received his performing art diploma when he graduated in 1993 from the London Studio Centre. After the completion of his diploma, he continued what's become a lifelong journey in dance and is now an instructor of the Spanish Dance Society, a fellow in Latin and Freestyle, the International Dance Teachers Association, and among a very few who hold the Salsa Dance Diploma. He has taught generations of dancers about traditional Cypriot and Greek dance and has even performed at the Eurovision Song Contest for Cyprus. Wow. He's in Australia for the Zeibekiko Festival and is also teaching while he is here. Christos Shakallis, welcome to Uzo Talk, my friend.
Welcome,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Well, fantastic to have you here. And we also have someone else here who is actually the organiser of the Zeibekiko Festival, and she's done a fantastic job of it. It is such a huge undertaking. She's also principal of the Sophia Ventouris School of Greek Dance right here in Hurstville. Sophia Ventouris, welcome to the Uzo Talk podcast.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic to be among you wonderful boys, drinking ouzo and ready to have this wonderful conversation about the world of Zeibekiko.
I'm sure you could talk about it for days, Sophia, you in particular.
More, but that's okay, yes. We'll keep it to the...
We'll narrow it down to a day.
Yeah, we'll narrow it down to this show.
On that note, shall we do the honours?
Yes, my friend, let's have a drink.
Στην υγεία μας.
Στην υγεία.
Welcome.
Καλώς σας βρήκαμε.
All right. Nikolaki, what are we drinking? Which one did you pick?
We still got heaps to get through the 35N, but I went the tick with the A again. It's going down good, yeah. But we got the Ouzo here as well, the light and vibrant Ouzo, thanks to the Greek Providor. And by the way, it's their 4th birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it's this week. 4th birthday for Greek Providor.
Crystal, you've done an amazing job.
Get online and check them out. So
Absolutely.
Happy birthday, Greek Providor. Boom.
GreekProvidor.com.au if you need anything when it comes to Greek produce, the premium stuff, whether it's, your 35 Vans, your Lazaris, there's sweets, there's all sorts of stuff that you can buy online. Make sure you're going to the GreekProvidor.com.au and checking that out. But we do have another sponsor, don't we, Nick?
We do. Agility have come on board for the next month or two. So thank you to Pete and the team for coming on board, and they're a fantastic organisation. They've been around for a while too. And they manage all that SMSing that you receive on your phone. So what a better way to get a hold of all your customers than SMSing. And did you know, it was an interesting stat, they said that every SMS is answered within 3 minutes.
That's right.
I reckon it's probably less.
It probably is. I mean, every time you get an SMS here,
Pick it up straight away.
Absolutely. You've got to see who it is. You've got to check it out. SMS Solutions for Business. If you've got a small to medium size, even a large scale business, more so if you've got a sort of large scale business, get in touch with Peter and his team at Agility, edgility.com.au. Check it out. You would have heard it in the intro as well. Talk to the guys over there and they will come up with a solution for your business.
Awesome. No, well done. And they can help you out anywhere in the world as well. So it's not just located to Australia. So
good stuff.
Pete and the team, good on you, boys. Thanks for coming on board. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Well, look, let's get into the meat of it now. Obviously, we are here to talk about Zeibekiko. We're here to talk about dance. And again, we've got passionate people to be able to talk about this. So we're really excited. But to kick it all off, I mean, let's start with you, Christos. I mean, your background, obviously you're Cypriot. Where is your family actually from?
I was born in Nicosia, but actually my father from Labithos and my mother from Karabas, but we do live in Nicosia. The school opened in 1975.
So your family did actually start a school, didn't they?
Yes, my father was a gymnastic teacher. Okay. So he used to do paradosiaka dance, everything, and then he traditional dancing, and then he moved into the laika modern Greek dancing, which is the rebetiko, hasapiko, Zeibekiko, hasaposerviko, all these kind of dances, and then they moved back those days. It was like tango and waltz and twist and rock and roll. It was in fashion. So they opened the school.
Cyprus.
Yes. Wow. It was worldwide. Yeah. Those kind of dances.
The international.
Yes. Yeah. And the disco. They are the disco ball. They form a group and based on the traditional dancing first, and later on he kept this group, and he make shows. Several performances, and then the need of the people to learn. Throughout this need, he opened the dance school. So there we have a dance school that they can also teach and the Cypriot folkloric dances and Greek dances, and also tango, Latin dances, flamenco, all kind of dances.
So you mentioned traditional Cypriot dances. What are they?
Okay, it's like. In Greece, you have the dances from Crete, from Pontos, from
Kalamati and all that.
Kalamati is different.
Okay.
Paradosiaki is traditional dance, where we wear your costume.
Yeah.
And in Cyprus, we have those dances.
What are they called?
We have Karchilamades, which is like Antikristi, face-to-face dance. We have the suite of the men and the suite of the women. We have Sirtos. We have Sousta. And then we have
what's the susta?
Susta is like a jumping. It's a very lively rhythm. And then we have the Zeibekiko, the traditional Cypriot Zeibekiko.
Okay, what's the difference? Or are we jumping into early?
Zeibekiko is not just one dance; it's a lot. And Sophia will explain later on that we have a lot of kind of Zeibekikos.
Gives the easy stuff to me, but that's okay.
That's why you're here.
And a lot of the dances that you just mentioned a moment ago, like the Garcilamades and the Antikristi Hori, they also belong to the family of Zeibekiko dancers.
Oh, really?
Just a note, Continue.
and throughout the years, each area, and Cyprus is an island, like Crete is an island, Pontos, Strea Lada, Peloponnesos, each area had their own traditional dances.
Wow.
But we have the modern dance, which is the Rebetiko, Χασάπικο, Χασαποσέρβικο, Κατσουλαπάδες. This is for everyone. So
what he's trying to say is like the Kalamatiano is a pan-Hellenic dance.
Yes.
And Samiko, it's not just danced in Crete or just one part of Greece in Roumeli. We have the dances, as I understand it, are classed differently. We have each region in Greece has their traditional customs, songs, they've got different instruments, and they're the traditional paradosiaki chori of that area. And then we also have what we call the two main pan-Hellenic dances, where you could be in Australia, New Zealand, America. Where else is your podcast heard? Give me some of those places. Come on.
Kenya.
Kenya. Wow, I love it.
Actually, good point. Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Cayman Islands.
Cayman Islands.
I've been even
Nice.
getting some stuff from Iceland on my website. So they're watching us from everywhere, this Zeibekiko Festival, and listening to Uzo Talk from everywhere. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the two pan-Hellenic dances are the two main dances that all Greeks, regardless of where they live in Greece or what part of Greece, and actually now this goes also to the diaspora, also, wherever you are, everyone that is Greek can dance. I'm going back to Zeibekiko. Can dance Kalamatiano and Samiko. Zeibekiko is just stuck in my head this week so much. So Kalamatiano and Samiko are dances that are danced worldwide from any Greek person and non-Greeks now, because a lot of Phil-Hellenes, like friends of the Hellenic culture, are coming to my classes. I've got more Australians or other cultures coming in to learn.
Really?
And yes, and they're coming to the Zeibekiko workshops too, because they're so interested.
Fantastic.
Yes. So there you go. There's a difference between the different like the main dances and the pan-Hellenic from the word, which is a Greek word, and it reminds me of my big fat Greek wedding. Everything is Greek. Well, pan is a Greek word. It's from the word pandu, which means
panda.
Everywhere.
Pandu.
So from the word pandu, they've cut it, pan, meaning everywhere, and Hellenic, of course, Greek.
Yes. Fantastic.
go.
We've barely scratched the surface. I mean, and that's gone into a great deal of detail. We're sort of getting a flavour for just how diverse all of the dances are. But before we jump into that, Sophia, your background as well.
Okay, I was born in Australia from migrant parents. I went to school in Australia, and like those days, many, many, many years ago, all the children were, pushed to go to Greek school. If you can't go to soccer if you don't go to Greek school. You can't do ballet if you don't go to Greek school. But guess what? My father was so strict. He didn't let me go to ballet, and I hated him from it because I loved the arts from a very young girl. And I used to watch the other kids dance, and I'd get all crazy. Why am I not allowed? Eventually, we did it behind his back. I did go to Greek dance classes and all that stuff, and I loved it. Yeah. So my background is I was born and bred here, but I did live in Greece for a very short period of time because, again, the migrants at that time, there was a way they'd go to Greece to go back forever, and they'd cop culture shock. And it was not the old Greece that they left, like they remembered it. And then a year or two later, they'd come back, and we were one of those families. I went to America for high school.
So what about your parents? Were they born in Greece?
My parents were born in Greece, yes. They didn't speak English very well. My mum better than my father. Yeah. My mother was from Nafpaktos. Is from Nafpaktos still. Yeah. She's alive.
The old capital. Yeah.
That's Nafpaktos.
Not the capital. Nafpaktos is a beautiful boutique town opposite Patra, near Agrinos, sort of around. It's in Etolokarnania, Sterea Elada.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And my father is from up north, from Macedonia, and his mum, and this is probably why I'm sort of close to all the stuff that I do. She was from Pontos. Right. She was a pure Pontian refugee. There was a family of 11, but only 2 survived, the mother and my yaya. The rest were all lost in the genocide. Yes.
Wow. What part of Pontus?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Did you know an SMS is read within 3 minutes of delivery, and that SMS is still the #1 business communication tool? Let Agility help you connect with your customers with a cheap and effective SMS solution. As one of Australia's top business SMS providers, Agility helps you and your business deliver your message, track campaign success, and drive customer action. Visit agility.com.au or call 1300 764 451 and chat to Peter and his team to see how SMS can help your business. Agility, proud sponsors of the Uzo Talk podcast.
There's no ouzo talk without a bottle of ouzo, which is why we love the Greek providor. Get a real taste of the very best produce that Greece has to offer. From olive oils and delicious artisan sweets to unique spirits, earthy herbs and memorable wines. Visit thegreekprovidor.com.au to see their amazing range. The Greek Providor, proud sponsors of the Ouzo Talk podcast.
Be
Do you know
honest,
the town, or
he has never ever told me. I don't think he knows himself. And my yaya died while I was very, very young. I think there was so much trauma that we never got the correct spot where they're from. But I'm guessing from the Trapezunda area.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we've had a few people on the show that are from that sort of area as well, and it's such
Well,
a
that was the
common
main,
story.
So 11 family members, only 2 survived.
Yes.
Crazy.
My yaya was the youngest, so her mother, my great-grandmother, grabbed her by the hand, and I don't know, they never found the rest of the family. That's the story I've been told, yes.
Wow. What a story.
All right, well, let's get into the actual Zeibekiko side of things. And for those who are living under a rock, just explain for them who maybe aren't Greek. What is a Zeibekiko and how would you describe it? Maybe Christos, start with you.
For a start, it's a solo dance. You get out and you dance alone. The stage is yours. Then it has a very interesting rhythm, the 9/8 rhythm.
Yes.
That rhythm, you need to feel it, you need to get it in your body, and then you need to take it out the way you want. And the third and most important part is the improvisation part. There are certain rules and style you need to be within to dance Zeibekiko, but each person is unique because it depends upon the age. If you are 18 or 78 to dance, if you are a man or a woman, if you are a shy person or a loud person, it comes out different. Which mood you are, what kind of songs Zeibekiko do you dance? Because most of the songs are sad songs. They relate to stories of pain, of suffering, but there are also some proud Zeibekikos. So they're not all the same, and they don't all express the same way. It depends how much ouzo you had
Of course.
before you dance.
Definitely.
It depends where you are. What kind of music do you listen? I mean, with the band who's playing, how much space you have, in which mood you are. Are you hurt? Are you happy? So it's a lot of other small
Psychological
details,
state is important,
that
I'd say.
makes it so important and very unique. And this we're trying, and a lot of people saying that you don't need steps to dance Zeibekiko, just bring your soul and dance. But on this side, I come in and say that all kind of dancing, they have soul. I mean, if they don't have soul and passion, then they are just gymnastic. You need to understand the rhythm. You need to have certain steps. You need to build your dance technique, like balance and turns and nice posture. And then you need to have like a dance vocabulary. So you can use it and mix it the way you want. And then you can dance the way you want. It's like before you said, they like facing down or up. And
Yeah, so what's that? Because when I see Zeibekiko dancers, they always look down.
not always.
Okay.
It depends. I've seen people dancing Zeibekiko like heavy and looking down, and they were really good. But I've seen also others proud and standing up and opening the arms, so they were good also. So it depends on the character of the person. It depends on what he what brings out of himself.
I can't help but think, listening to what you're saying, this dance, and this is the way that I've felt about it for a very long time, fully admitting that I'm terrible at it, but it borders on something spiritual because of the way that it needs to sort of, or it tends to sort of
Got
take
it
it
on the
over.
nail. A good Zeibekiko dancer, well, they're all good, but when you're in the real Zeibekiko mood, you're really in a trance.
Yes.
That's what I believe. And speaking, you're looking down or up, it really doesn't matter. I don't think that should even be an issue. The thing is that they're in a trance, and when you're really dancing for yourself, because when you're dancing for yourself, you don't care what anyone else is doing around you, or if they're looking at you. You're not performing for anybody. The real Zeibekiko in italics is not performing for nobody. It's performing for your soul and yourself and letting it out. That's a true Zeibekiko, and it's a very hard state to reach, the real Zeibekiko. And that's not only just with Zeibekiko, it's with other dancers too. I mean, during the Pontian workshop that we did on Monday with Kirill Pagodzidi that came with the Pontians, he kind of said the same thing with the what they call the war dance Sera. The true state of Sera is not to scream and throw your hands, and as you know, dance groups do this just for show. It's to keep doing the same thing and getting this trance to get yourself ready for war. The same thing with Zeibekiko. I think you get in a trance to connect your soul with wherever it's got to be, or, you know, calm yourself down, or whatever it is. Like Dosis is the Greek word, to give out. Watching Zeibekiko on a stage is beautiful. Teaching Zeibekiko on a stage is beautiful. We all need that. But the true Zeibekiko is a communication with the above.
Wow. Well, it's like you're dancing with your soul, I guess. It's just you and your soul and your spirit, and like you said, no one's around you. Maybe that's why people would look down, because they're not really looking at anyone. They're not doing it for anyone.
I need to say one little thing here.
Sure.
When it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to Christo, and I'm sure it's happened to many people, when you're dancing, and you might see someone dancing Zeibekiko, and you think, I've never seen them dance like that. I never knew they could dance this well. And, you know, they don't know anything about dance. It's because they've received energy from above, or whatever that could, you could translate that as. For in that moment in time, there's, you know, we're energetic beings. So as we move around and we're in this trance, we receive extra energy, and we can just explode into something that we didn't even know we could do. And that is the essence for me of Zeibekikos.
Wow.
I would like to add something here.
Sure.
Okay, here in Australia now, I will be teaching mostly Greeks, but I do travel a lot. I teach, as you said, Philhellenes. What's the word?
Philhellenes.
Bulgarians, Romanians, Turks, Russians, that they just love Greece. They love to come to Greece for vacation. They like Greek salad. They like bouzouki. They like the whole idea. They like the black and the white and the blue, the sea. So with the music comes the feeling, and then there comes the dance. So they want to be into it. They want to come and eat the Greek salad, eat the octopus, you know, and then feel the music, and then just go there and express themselves. Those people, you need to tell them small stories so they can get into the heritage of the Zeibekiko. So what I usually tell them, like a small story, it might not relate to everyone, but let's say you have a problem. She left me, I'm alone now. So I have a story, you know. So what do? I call my best friend. I want to tell him my pain. So, and I pick up the phone and say, look, Yanni, I have a problem. We need to talk about it. She left me. And he goes, Yanni, no, let's go and meet, and let's go somewhere so we can eat also and talk about it. So you go to a taverna. And there you take your cheese and everything, and the tzatziki and mezedakia. You have your ouzo, and you're telling him your problem.
I can't help but smile. With
Your woes, you know, you say your parapon.
Do you relate to this? You know, and then
yes.
And then suddenly, you know, this song comes out that it relates to you. It's like it was written to your situation.
And then smack bam, Zeibekiko.
And then you just want to go out and dance your pain, but you want to show that you'll be a winner. It's not a loser's dance. Or, I mean, you have your pain, but you step hard, and then you come out strong, and you will be, better days will come, and then your friend comes there and claps and supports you towards this problem.
Wow.
So it's a small story.
And you know what this tells me, because I love how he's gone worldwide with Zeibekiko, and, you know, he's teaching other cultures, and you know, it's like Zeibekiko belongs up there with flamenco dance, and what's the other dance that you do, the Armenian the tango, because they're all soulful dances, and any other kind of dance in that sort of class, because they're all soulful dances. They're all, you need the same ingredients to get to that good level. So that's why there's a lot of people out there. So flamenco dance, a lot of people love it around the world. You know, you get Chinese, Americans, Indian, and the same thing with tango. It's a unique soul-grabbing experience, and so Zeibekiko. And the more it's getting out there, the more known. And Christos has been a great ambassador for Zeibekiko for, you know, Greece and Cyprus. I think it's going to end up there very soon.
Absolutely.
It should. It belongs there.
100%.
Mate, that was brilliant. The way you described that, I was there in that moment. I felt like the way you described
Elasico,
it.
opa.
Yeah. I feel like dancing now. Yeah, I would dance on one leg. I was going to say, but when I watch someone Zeibekiko dance, it feels like it's a very masculine song. Very masculine, you know, strength and all that sort of stuff. But then now I see women dance it. And I love it when, how sexy is it when you see a woman dance Zeibekiko now?
Just watch me.
Oh, come on.
So was it traditionally a male dance?
It used to be. It used to be. But back then, they say that the only woman that was allowed to dance Zeibekiko is the one that lost a child. So they were seriously in pain.
Or a prostitute.
Yeah, so they were like, but nowadays I think times have changed, and whenever we go out, I think when they play Zeibekiko, the stage is full of women dancing.
Definitely.
Like everything changes in time.
What are you
History
trying to say,
changes. I'm just trying to clean up now.
Sophia.
Nothing stays the same. Even ouzo talk, you know, everything changes. You change your bottle of ouzo, you put a new glass, you put a new brand of ouzo or something. So does history, so does dance, so does everything. Nothing stays the same. And yes, it was a masculine dance. But before, if we go backwards, in the late 1800s, because I'm not a historian, but Zeibekiko those days, those type of Zeibekiko, which were antikristi, meaning opposite, not antichrist. Don't look at me like that. Don't do your cross on me like that. It's opposite each other. Antikri means opposite. They were Zeibekiko type of dances, and they were danced by women, men, sometimes together, then slowly changed over the course of time, where we had the Zeibek. We'll talk about them afterwards, where they were dancing, again, similar thing to get ready, to rob people, to do whatever they did, the Zeybek Spuleme from Anatolia. And then when the catastrophe happened and, you know, the refugees brought this across over to Greece, but they were Greek too, don't forget.
Yes.
Anyway, and they just had to move land. It changed because we ended up in this Rebetiko era, and the Rebetiko era was a very sorrowful era, and that happened because all these people had lost their jobs, their homes, their children, their wives were raped, or they got lost, people died. You know, there was the genocide, the whole thing was horrible. So we have now a new society that is lamenting, that is mourning their past, and they're still not over it. You know, there's trauma in society, and these first Rebetika songs were songs that were really Smirneka songs, or you know, Anatolian songs. And eventually, as time passed, there was new ones written, and we get to the new Rebetiko scene, and then they became more political about they spoke about what was going on at the time in Greece and about their experiences and their hardships. But at that time, that's when Zeibekiko sort of turned into even more manga, sorrowful and lonely kind of dance, because a guy would, and as mangas, you know, oposo mangas to botaniko, like the song says, would go and give his money, like, you know, you'd pay the orchestra or the band, whatever, at that time, not orchestra, it was a little band, and they'd give them their drachmi or whatever it was, the money of that time.
Lick it, stick it on his forehead.
And for that 2-3 minutes, or as long as that song went, it was his, and it was a holy time. If anyone else went into his space to dance, they had every right to take out a knife and kill him. And that was the mahiromata. And usually that would end up in a brawl and blood and whatever. So it became so special that how dare you come into my holy space. So that's where we get the manga and the drunken thing.
We've seen that happen here, actually. We were together. I don't know if you recall this.
Are you sure it wasn't over a girl or something?
No, actually. So it was, oddly enough, it was at the Cypress Club.
Oh, wow.
And a knife wasn't
I'm sure
pulled.
there was other circumstances, but anyway, I don't think we're that bad.
No, so a knife wasn't pulled.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were there.
Happened?
Because he danced in his spot.
Yes.
Well, maybe
he
because
paid,
he
went and gave, you know, he
paid,
tipped the band and he said, "This is my song, and I'm going to dance it." And someone came up and he's like, "No, this is my space now."
So, but you know, like times change. Women eventually started dancing, and like today, Zeibekiko, like Christos said, is danced by more women than ever, and it's not anymore the sad dance, just the masculine dance, the sorrowful dance. Today, Zeibekiko has done a full turnaround. 100% spin turn around, and it's become the happy dance at all the events, our children's christenings, our weddings. You see, the mother of the bride, the father of the groom. They even come and knock on our doors, both of us, and I'm sure every other dance teacher out there gets, please help me, we want to look good for our children's wedding day.
It's a badge of honor, isn't it?
And they want to, and they're dancing with pride and happiness. I don't see any more sorrow. It's become a dance of happiness. Yes, expression still. Yes, we still have the memory of the manga and all that. That still exists. We're not putting that away. But now it's come to the next level.
I didn't know half that stuff. That was great.
Also, there are some songs that the lyrics, they refer to a woman. Όταν μπαίνει μια γυναίκα. So I cannot get up and dance. A man, it should be a woman. But on my side, when I see a woman dance, I want to see feminine. The feminine side.
Well, they are. You're right. When you watch them, it's a confidence dance. So when I see men dance, it looks like a very masculine.
Yes.
It looked like a fucking cool Greek James Bond dancing. Cool.
I agree with Christo. I think a woman should dance as a woman, not as a man, because sometimes girls get up and they jump on the floor and they do the flips and things that men do. We all, do something when we're happy, but it's not very
I wouldn't say they dance masculine. Well, anyway,
some might.
A woman should dance as a Zeibekiko as a woman with all her femininity.
But strong.
But that's what I'm saying. She's confident.
Yes, to be alone there and dance.
It was a masculine, male, confident dance. Now it's just a confident dance. When you see women dance it, that's what it is. And I wouldn't say they're masculine. No way. There's no way. The way they dance it, it's got this elegance about them as well. When you see a really good woman dance the Zeibekiko, got this cool elegance about him, and it's a confident dance. Is how
he
I
gets
see
turned on.
I do.
That's the long way of him saying that.
I said earlier.
Edit.
No, that's staying in.
Way.
That's staying in. Oh no!
So
I was just watching his face, so I just had to say.
Maybe I'm visualising the girls I've seen in the past.
He's got
married?
you sitting next to him, Sophia. Come on.
Oh no, he's not visualising me. I'm pretty sure. He was looking up there, so he was looking at the prima donna of I don't know what. He wasn't looking this way, but anyway, it's all good.
So next time we go
I hope
out,
you're not married. Get
the
the foxilo.
That's all right. No.
But you think about it. Someone like Zenika Rezi, for example, when when she's dancing in one of those films, absolutely stunning and very feminine.
Yes.
And Chronopoulou, she also dances. Last year at the festival, we did Zeibekiko to Ελληνικού Κινηματογράφου, and one of the groups had presented Chronopoulou, and we had the screen up and the different Zeibekiko, and even from those days, the early film days, there were women out there on film dancing Zeibekiko.
Amazing. Brilliant. Well, I want to touch on something really quickly because it sort of leans into what we're talking about here. The song choice. Everybody that I know anyway, they've always got their song. And it's very specific to everyone. So as soon as that song goes on, everyone knows, that person's going to get up. What is it for you guys? Christo, what about for you personally? Okay. What's the one that gets you up?
They do ask me a lot of times, which is your favorite Zeibekiko? I don't have one. I have around 10 to 15 songs that they speak to me. And if I go now and say that not all songs are the same, I have 3 or 4 old songs, Zeibekiko songs from the old era. And then I have a few, 4 or 5 later from latest singers and composers. And then I have like Endechna, it's more spiritual, Zeibekiko. So I have them all that I like them, and it depends on my mood.
This tells us that he's an artist. Yes. That's what happens.
I decide last minute. If I'm there, I feel like I want this one. And then I choose this one to dance. It's not like I go and say, tonight I will dance this dance.
Yes.
It depends on the moment.
I've watched you dance Evdokia a couple of times. Which one of those categories is Evdokia?
Evdokia is the most from the old era, but Evdokia is a masterpiece. Because it's one of those songs that has no lyrics and it's so powerful. And you don't need lyrics to get it. And the melody changes and give you so much. And then you can make your own, you can travel the way you want the song. So no lyrics to guide you. So you can take it the way you want. Very powerful.
Boys, do you know anything about Evdokia?
So it means Eve, doesn't it? Like Adam and Eve.
No, where it's from. What does it mean?
No,
nothing.
Tell us.
Okay, Evdokia is actually from a Greek old movie. and she was a prostitute. So Zeibekiko Festival, funnily, or whatever enough you want to call it, is really about a prostitute. And look at that, and it's become this symbol because people don't know. I'd rather have the new Olympic exerhako drum beat Zeibekiko. And I see, this is the language barrier that we have in diaspora. I have a lot of people coming who want to dance, and they bring this Zeibekiko, and they want to do Rosa, Tiorio, that's my wedding song. And I say
another
to them,
prostitute.
I say, do you want to dance that song to your bride? It's your wedding day. Do you know what it means? Rosa is it's about a prostitute, and their first go with I'm thinking, oh my God, and then I tell them they think about it twice, but but still, it's the power, like you said, the tune, the music. So I think sometimes we need to know a little bit of history, or a little
But
bit.
people
Of,
take what they want out of it. Like, it doesn't mean.
yes, I don't think they even know what that means. And he goes, Rosa is just the name they say. They just grab the song because they don't even understand the lyrics.
True.
Yeah.
So, Christos, name a few songs. So, old songs that you said there was 3 or 4.
Okay.
It was 10, wasn't it?
Or the old classics.
Okay, from the old classics, Evdokia is one. And then you have Drapetsona. Very unique, very powerful song. And then I have some old ones, Του άντρα του, πολλά βαρύ.
I love it.
Στο κελί 33.
Okay, can you play these?
And then you have more modern ones.
Yes,
Αθήνα μου.
of course.
Oh, everyone loves that one.
Okay, this
That's
is
my favourite.
so now you understand the different
Want some more?
eras and the different. So
Just so
each.
everyone knows, we're having more shots now.
And I love Zeibekiko sung by some women, some really great Zeibekiko. And I love Marinella, of course. I hope she's well
Περαστικά.
after what happened to her. And she has sung some amazing heavenly ones. And Hari Alexiou with that Mars bar voice.
Isn't
and
she
her
unbelievable?
my favourite from her is Erotiko.
Yep.
Memnia Piroga, it could be under that, or Erotiko.
That one is on the
That
same, on the
is-
middle of the spiritual.
That is one special Zeibekiko.
But that Athenimal song, I saw a clip recently where he started to cry. The crowd was singing
Yes,
it.
I saw that too. He cried because of what that he sang, but he stopped and they gave it all back to him, and he was overwhelmed by the love that was coming back to him.
And the film clip as well. He dances in a little cafenio.
That was an instant classic as soon as that song came out.
What about Notis Fakanakis?
Oh, he's amazing.
Εγώ είμαι
Legendary.
Έλληνας.
Τα γενέθλιά μου. Το ξέρεις?
Your birthday?
No,
Σφακιανάκη.
Tagenethia.
No.
The song, Tagenethia.
Listen to the lyrics. I wish he knew the date, the birthday of his death.
Oh,
The
wow.
date he's gonna die, so he can celebrate it every year.
As a birthday.
Amazing.
Wow.
Very strong, very strong.
Okay, so the meaning of this song is I wish I knew the birthday. Or
I
the
wish
day
I
was
knew
gonna
the day
die,
I'm gonna die.
so I can celebrate
let-
it like a birthday every
Yes,
year.
every year I will celebrate that day.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Again,
here.
I think
Because
yeah.
his pain must have been so immense that he didn't want to live. They're very strong words. You need to know Greek to really get into these songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a great point, because every time I show any kind of song like this to someone who isn't Greek, you really struggle to try and make them understand the meaning.
That's why we need more instrumentals for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But look, Zeibekiko can be, it's such a massive topic. It could be artistic, it could be just a dance, it
Oh,
could
but just
be...
hearing that song with those lyrics, mate, how can you not be in a trance?
There are
dancing
different
to
kind of Zeibekikos in the way they are presented. The original form was this taberna form, that one and presented there, and you dance it and you express your what you want, your soul. But nowadays you have theater presentation, so you mean to build a choreography on stage so people can watch. So you need to do choreographies lined up and put clothes and make a show. Then you have to put Zeibekiko on TV programs. And then now also we do Zeibekiko in competitions, in dance competitions. So it's a different forms that they show something different. Purists say no, Zeibekiko shouldn't be choreographed, shouldn't be this, but you need, it depends on the way it's presented. And
it's got to evolve. You got to modernize it.
Yes.
It's good to have your traditions, but if you want to carry it on for the next generations, I think you got to.
Could end up at the Olympics instead of breakdancing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Don't be shocked.
I was gonna say, 2020, I got an invitation from the Russian Ballet.
Wow.
They called me and they were doing a whole production about dancers from all around the world. And they wanted to include Zeibekiko in their production. So I was invited to go there and teach their professional dancers to present and do a Zeibekiko. They did Evdokia. Of course,
Did they do it?
Yes, of course. I will have it online in a Russian ballet.
Oh, Russian ballet.
In their productions.
Okay.
So for us, it was an honor to see our Zeibekiko getting recognized and be danced and performed by professional dancers. Because up to now, they only did Zorba. And then they asked Zeibekiko, which is very important. Okay, I can relate that they don't know the feeling of a dance. They dance it in a very balletic way, but they are professional dancers. I mean, if I do one turn, they do three.
Yes.
It's in their training. It's their job. So they're there to put out a show for that.
So how do you feel watching something like that and seeing someone who is so highly trained with a level of choreography? How does it make you feel to look at it and say, is this pure? Is it not? What does it evoke for you?
You understand that it's not pure because you see them in a more balletic than a more traditional way. But I feel honored and proud that our heritage and our songs and music are there to be performed by the best of the best.
Yes.
So it's another dimension.
So it's one thing to see it performed by someone in the Russian ballet, but it's another thing, and perhaps even more amazing, to see someone in a taverna on a Saturday night at 2
Or your
a.m.
papu.
Yes.
Exactly.
They all have their beauty.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to understand. It's a different in the theater, in the TV production, in the taverna, in the street, in the high level of dancing. If someone is not a professional dancer, just amateur, just doing 3 steps, or someone that is highly trained dancer. So it can be everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know what's really interesting for me? What he says is all correct. I agree with all that. But even the papu that's 85 years old with the magura, with the walking stick,
Who can barely move.
and he gets up in front of his little crowd at some little taverna or some house party, and he does his little, Zeibekiko move. It's not the move that really gets you. It's what shines through that gets you. Again, it's above and beyond move. Movement, of course, is very important, but it's that extra energy and extra power that comes through that everyone claps around them and bravo, bravo, because they're giving. So I guess when you dance, you receive, but you give also to be able to receive. So I see this with Christos, when he performs, and then when he's really dancing it, like last night at the taverna, he was just giving, and you take too. It's all an exchange. So this is why you get
Exchange of energy.
Well, not just energy, it's just an exchange of it. It's just the crowd. Like when you're around a crowd that's vibing, you're going to vibe more. If you're, at a funeral party, everyone's going to cry, you're not going to. But even there, I've also seen Zeibekiko there. Some people who have died, they wanted a Zeibekiko for their father or their relative.
Usually the most amazing moment, either at a christening or a wedding or whatever it is you... To your
the
point,
impromptu,
Sophia,
like out of the blue.
It's when that papu or that pro papu gets up who can barely move.
And they give a part of their soul.
Yeah.
But he can move with a Zeibekiko.
Yeah.
Correct.
Even if it's a little bit, that's
It empowers
the most
you.
special part.
It's empowering also. That's another thing. It's empowering. So our ancestors gave us something special. And it can go to many different levels.
And there's always a drink in the middle.
It's usually a whiskey these days.
You know how hard it is to grab, and there's the thing is you got to grab it with your mouth. You
See,
can't
that
use your
happens
hands.
a lot here. Maybe this is something that you guys can
Is this
talk
a
about.
Greek
Happens
thing or an
here.
Australian thing?
I will tell you the small story. When I went to the Russian ballet to teach them, I did the training, and then I was trying. They did everything perfect, but it was too
perfect,
robotic, too perfect. Yeah. So I was trying to give them some, to get them. And they were dancers, let's say from 18 until 28, their age
bracket. That age bracket.
Yes. And they were, I said, you need to, when you are in, you have a situation and you drink, you get up and dance. And they were listening, trying the best they could do. And I remember on the day of the show, because I was invited to go there on the premiere, and also I danced with them on stage. And they called me without their choreographers and their instructors know, sir, we want to invite you to our dressing room. So I went there, and they had a bottle of vodka, and they all put like a small shot, and they gave it, said, don't say anything to our bosses, just to drink so we can perform more and feel the stage and feel the dance.
Amazing.
She said, you're doing it wrong, you need Cipro. You need Cipro to do that.
Oh, wow.
Wow, brilliant. So does it mean anything having the drink in the middle and dancing around, like a shot of whiskey or...
No, these are things that are just happening.
Just an add-on.
It doesn't add on. What actually alcohol is doing is making you more relaxed and more easy to bring out your inner emotions, and it helps you to relax and enjoy the dance. But it hasn't got any meaning. I've seen people like lighting fire and dancing around, or putting a drink there, and or some people lifting table with their mouth.
Their teeth.
Yeah, that's my father-in-law. So I've got photos of my father-in-law, and he dances amazing. Yeah, even in his, he's in his sort of mid-60s now. But I've got pictures of him as a young man with, I think it's 4 tables and a pot plant on top, and he's got the bottom table in his teeth. And he's dancing Zeibekiko. I've got them on my phone. I'll show them to you later. Amazing.
Wow, there you go. And the person on one knee clapping, or you always see the dancer doing a scissor kick over their head?
They do that also, yeah. It's a connection. It's the connection with the people that they're supporting you or going through your dance. So you are alone dancing, but you have all the people supporting you. Yeah. So it's a connection.
Yeah, wow. I'm only laughing because I was at a wedding and there was a Greek and a North Macedonian wedding. So it was like a fusion, and they had the Greek dancing on and the North Macedonians tried to blend in. And this one of my mates that I know, he's doing a Zeibekiko dance. And there was a guy on one knee clapping, and an older guy. He tried to get his foot over his head. He must have had tight hamstrings, I don't know. But all I saw was from the distance, this guy just gets smacked in the head. And I thought he had a wig on, or it might have been a bad comb over. I just saw this guy with hair, bang on the ground now, no hair. I thought, did you just knock the wig off his head? But it was one of the funniest sights. But yeah, so I see that a lot.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So look, shall we go back? I want to go back. So what are the origins of Zeibekiko? Where did it come from? So how far back can we go?
Well, look, I'm not a historian and I'm not a researcher. I'm reading and learning as I go.
Okay, well, what have you read?
I'm going to tell you now. The Zeibekiko Festival is basically learning and researching and bringing in information and going through and learning all the time. Sure. With my understanding, there's many different what we call ekadoses. There's many different stories out there. Mm-hmm. Some researchers go as back as the antiquity, ancient Greek times, and they say that the word Zeibekikos comes from the word Dias from one of his names, and Bekos from the word bread or something like that. Others say that the Zeibekiko comes from, it's a Turkish dance. Others say that Zeibekikos was danced by the Zeybeks, which was like a military kind of thing. They were the Robin Hoods for me of that time. These were young men like the Yanitsari during the Greek Revolution that were taken from Greek mothers and they were bred as Turkish boys. These boys, with my understanding, they lived up in the mountains like the Armatoli did, and they robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. And so they were of Greek origin, even though there's a debate about that. So it'll be interesting to learn more about that. Okay. Yes.
I just did a quick Google search, and yeah, you're right. It says the name originated from the Zeybeks, which is an irregular militia living in the Aegean region of the Ottoman Empire from the late 17th century to early 20th century.
For me...
So it was around Smyrna and Constantinople, so 1600s.
Some people are scared to use the word Turkish. I'm not scared to use that word. They always refer to it as Asia Minor. Well, Asia Minor today is Turkey.
You call them Ottomans. It's not Turkey. It was Ottomans back then. Turkey came in 1922.
The Greek civilization, let's go back to the fall of Constantinople, 1453. The Greek Empire, the Byzantine Empire is massive. And it spreads all the way, all around all those areas. And we have also Trapezouda, Podos, a thriving, Pontian population. And especially Constantinople was a world cultural center, universities, merchants. Then obviously came the Ottomans. And 400 years later, we're still under, their rule. And obviously after 400 years, cultures mix, people, and Saint Sophia, have you heard the thrill that says, Pada me chronia me kerus pada dikamastani? The Greeks are always saying, we've lost Saint Sophia, but after many years, these lands will come back to us. That's the legend. What I'm trying to say is after 400 years, the Greek Revolution happens, if you sort of do the math, and Greece at that time in the 1800s, mid-1800s, or it's a tiny little area, and slowly, every little battle they're grabbing more ground. And around that time, Megaloni, Elada, but not all the Greeks are in this little space. They're still spread out to Cappadocia, and they're living there for hundreds of years in Smyrni, Cappadocia, Trapezouda. These people have homes, there's Greek schools, there's Greek cities, and they're living, the communities are living actually in peace, not the politicians and whoever else is organising what's going on, but eventually the problems happen, and these people are all forced to leave.
Everything that you've just spoken about there, it's obvious that you cannot separate the dance and these styles from the history. It's such an important part of it. But for you personally, I suspect this is is that the reason why you're doing what you're doing when it comes to
For me,
Zeibekiko
I'm going to
Festival?
tell you something. When I was younger, I always loved Zeibekiko, and when I'd hear the music, it would really move me. And my body had a lot more ability those days than like my age right now. And when I danced Zeibekiko, I didn't care who was watching. I always had this strength. I don't know if I've got it anymore, but I think I do maybe. I don't know. But I'd get in front of a crowd. I was always, never had any problems with shyness or whatever. I guess it's part of my big personality. And I could just do this with my hand. I could feel I had everyone's gaze on me. I just grabbed them. That's how it was for me. And I just danced my solo, and that was it. Yeah. And I felt great. And I didn't care if they said why, how, what. I just did it. That's Zeibekiko for me, because I would just let it go. But I had that strength. So anyone with confidence can go in a room or just get up. You just grab everyone. You're the show. You're the star kind of thing. And a lot of people would say to me back then, or people in the know-how or in the business, αυτό δεν το χορεύουν οι γυναίκες. Εσύ γιατί το κάνεις το Zeibekiko? Χορεύεις σαν άντρας. So I didn't dance like a man. But some people would like to intimidate you, put you down, and for me,
these are the misconceptions and the
misconceptions or whatever. And
maybe you did it better than him.
Maybe. But the stigmas,
Christo?
No, you did it better than the person that was trying to.
No, it's got nothing to do about doing it better. I really don't have those type of issues. I'm open to people, and even if someone has something bad to say, I hope to diffuse the situation and get them on board. That's my way of dealing with things. Zeibekiko Festival for me was a way to reply to all those people who have bagmouthed Zeibekiko, who thinks it's just a dance for dirty people or just manges that are βρωμιάριδες. And I've been told μόνο οι μεθυσμένοι χορεύουν. Εγώ τους τα έχω πει, οι μεθυσμένοι χορεύουν αυτούς τους χορούς. How dare you teach your children Zeibekiko?
For our English
now I'll say it in English. I've been told, how dare you teach children Zeibekiko? These are dances, for drunken people, or that's because of their ignorance. So what I want to do, if I can, hopefully try, is to enlighten all these people who have these horrible things to say about Zeibekiko, and also those people who write horrible comments even till today sometimes on Facebook and say, then that's not the way you do Zeibekiko. This is not Zeibekiko. This is ballet. This is this. This is that. Who are these people? The people from the backyard who's never danced as Zeibekiko or doesn't know a bit about history, who just wants to say something to hurt someone. Don't hurt Zeibekiko. Zeibekiko is a massive historical thing, and I want to bring that out into light. And I also want to hopefully traced its true origins. I was talking with Dimitri Kubarouli, who's someone that worked with me from Melisma Ensemble on the weekend, and they presented fantastic history. And he knew the dates, the times, the instruments, like from the old Zeibekiko, the first Zeibekiko ever found recorded, the Mysterio Zeibekiko, and how it was danced. And I had my dancers perform. Like, I want to bring all this out in the light to show that Zeibekiko is not this thing and the bad stigma for Zeibekiko, even though we already love it and everyone dances it.
It's interesting because, as we said before we started recording, Thanasi Polykadroti sat in that chair over there last year. And he spoke about something similar and trying to change the way that, number one, the bouzouki is seen. Taking it from something that was part of the hashish dens, more recently, and bringing it into a more artistic frame.
They say that it's closer to that the Byzantine. I believe that even Zeibekiko is connected to Byzantine dance.
Yes.
And I'm, like I said, we need more research on this. So I need to find people who have researched this to hopefully bring it out in a future festival and really bring it out there, because I really believe that. My instinct usually is not wrong. And talking to like-minded people,
right.
I'm hoping to make that connection. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm putting it out there. If anyone knows who's listening to this podcast, please contact me.
ouzotalk@outlook.com is our email. Let us know and we'll pass on to
Thank you very much.
to Sophia.
But just on that point, because I did read an article that did say they do call it the eagle dance as well, which is one of the symbols of Byzantine as well.
Not only is the eagle a Byzantine symbol, it's also the symbol of our religion, the Greek Orthodox Church. It's a symbol of power. It's a symbol of many religions and their power, or even countries. And it's also a vasiliko symbol. That means the symbol of a king. So like a king, like an eagle, like a powerful person, like the vision of the eagle. You know how they have special vision when they fly in the sky, and they have special skills in flying and grabbing prey, and they say you can never catch an eagle out or whatever. They liken it to a Zeibekiko dancer, or the person presenting Zeibekiko, should be like that. Well,
it does look like that. I think back to Christo now. When you do dance it, so I feel like your arms are out and you're swaying like an eagle in your moves, and you're kicking your heels, and I don't know, what do you think? Does it feel like an eagle dance to you when you dance it?
It does feel a bit.
Yeah, you see the comparison.
When we have our hands up, they are the symbol of the eagle wings.
Yeah.
And also it's a symbol. You are strong there. You're opening, you're covering your stage. You are there. You state your presence in the stage.
He soars
it's
around
the peacock effect.
No, it's not the peacock effect.
It's not.
He soars around his dance floor like the eagle soars around in the sky.
Yes.
Very
his
good.
His area.
Yes.
Okay. See. Yeah. Okay. So back in my 20s, it just reminds me of a story now.
Here we go.
We used to drink.
These
obviously.
stories end badly, usually, by the way.
We used to think it was like a drunken man's dance, and you're trying to pick up a coin off the ground. So your hands are out. You missed. Do a turn. Come back again. You missed again. Anyway, that was just us being silly boys. But it's got nothing to do with it, obviously.
What I really like lately, the past 10 years, if you used to go to a wedding or a party or an event, and there was Zeibekiko music there, you were looking for that one person that knows how to dance, to go there and dance.
Yeah.
Now, when there's music there, they are fighting to dance.
Yeah.
That means that also young generation are into it.
Yeah.
They like it. They feel the music. They want to dance. So it's our chance now to get them educated, to get them dance skills.
Yeah.
They explain to them what they want to show, how they will do it, and then enjoy themselves. And very important.
See, this is what I wanted to ask you. Do you feel an element of responsibility to be able to pass that on from what you know? Is that part of why, I guess, your parents started, the school? What's your level of involvement in terms of, the responsibility you feel?
I do feel responsible because Zeibekiko is not form. Everybody has their own particular style, but a lot of people, they do follow our style. So it is a responsibility. On the other hand, I don't want everybody to be dancing the same way that I dance, but I need to form them, give them all the ingredients so they can dance, and then free them out so they bring their own individual style to it. And I always say, look also to different teachers, dancers, see what they do, choose the one that you think you are connected to, you are related to, and absorb them. Or if you want to dance, and they ask me a lot, do I dance well? I said, no, first of all, dance, put your phone there, film yourself dancing, and then sit down and watch. Because, we're always the most, how you say?
The biggest critics.
Yes,
we judge
of ourselves.
Yeah.
Watch yourself, and you will see a lot of things. I like that, I don't like that, I should do more of this, less of that. So you will fix yourself the way you want. Because in Zeibekiko, when you, in the mind, when you listen to music, you close your eyes and you imagine yourself dancing. That's the Zeibekiko level you want to reach.
Beautiful. Well said.
Amazing.
I feel that. I know what you mean. Because when in our younger days, you'd shut your eyes and you'd feel the music run through you like electricity, and then your body would just react. Hands out, dancing, stepping. Well done. So so back to dancing. What is some of the first steps you would teach someone? Is it
First they need to be teach them the rhythm, because you have the 9/8 rhythm. So they need to get
9/8 rhythm.
Yes. So they need to follow the drum. They need to feel it, not count it. In the beginning, they will count it. Yes, bam, 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 bam,
Beat.
bam, bam.
Is
bam,
that the 8/9
octo,
rhythm?
That's what it's
enya.
9/8.
Yes. So in the beginning they will count it, but then it has to be inside, and then give them a few steps, so they know right from left, they know how to turn, they know how to stop, and then give them solutions, like do a step there, stop, and then do a movement, do a hit and everything. And then is the difficult part. When they get out to dance, they will dance and then plan their next movement on their own, so they don't dance a choreography from beginning to end.
Christo, I'm going to say something to you. I don't know, you tell me, does this happen to you? Because it happens to my students. They'll come, they'll learn, and you give them tools, and then you say to them, all right, before you go, you've got to do this on your own without watching me now.
They freeze.
And when they're free, what happens? Do you find that they divert back to the old, back to the way they were? So this is what I think what you're saying is that you've got to give them these tools to allow them to have the confidence to move forward, not keep going back to those jumpy beats. It's
not easy. Some people think with one class they will learn to dance Zeibekiko. No.
It's not just steps.
Yes, they need to understand it. It's like learning a new language. Let's say we go and learn, I don't know, Spanish. So the teacher will teach us words. So we will learn the words, the meaning, and then he will make sentences to us. So we need to say the sentence and then learn how the pronouns and everything, and then give us grammar. But at the end of the day, we need to make our own conversation. We need to use all the information we get and speak the language.
Zeibekiko is also a dance that you really need to be grounded. It's also a very good spiritual workout, I think, sometimes. So when we dance Zeibekiko, we're not jumping around. We do jump, we do throw out, hit, but it's very grounded. Sometimes I call this the Greek martial art dance.
It's a good analogy.
It is, because I think it's very true. I mean, you're very grounded. So a good Zeibekiko guy is really grounded, and he's moving his arms close, legs always on the floor. It's like whatever goes up with your hands, that whatever you hit has to go back up. So if you're dropping your hands, it's like you drop your energy. What is it? Your power. So your hands, like the wings of the eagle, like a bird. If you drop your wings, you're going to fall down.
Yeah, kind of thing. Flying, so you got to be flying.
You got to be flying. Yeah.
I can't help but think, based on everything that you just said there, Christo, and giving the tools basically to the resolutions to how you can move and what the next move might be. I couldn't help but think, because I play guitar. It's almost like, coming up with a guitar solo, because you have your scales, you have the way that you'll play, the certain things that you can do that are part of the arsenal to create a guitar solo, but it also needs to happen in the moment. Yes. And and
it's like a cook, the ingredients you use and how you cook it, it's all the same.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that let's take it from myself. If I went tonight to dance in the taverna, it doesn't mean it will be a perfect Zeibekiko. It will be, let's say I take Zeibekiko from 1, a very bad one, and 9, a good one. So I will be able to perform a 6 level. So to take it on a 7, on the 8 or a 9, it depends on other things.
Yes.
It depends on where I am, how much uso I take, what's the people around me, who's
absolutely.
watching, is there, what's my mood. So that will take it to another level.
Absolutely.
So every Zeibekiko should be unique. Never danced before. Might be similar, but it's a unique one.
So basically saying you can't reproduce your same solo every time. It's going to be different, basically.
And it never will be based on all of those variables, because if
you're going to dance it at a different venue, you're going to be wearing different takunya or shoes.
Short space, long space.
But more than anything,
it depends on what's going
who's
through
in the
your
room.
head as well.
The who is in the room, though. Like, if there's a girl there
you want to impress,
yes,
you're going to throw a few extra tipimata.
Exactly.
And another thing, in the night, my belief is you only dance once Zeibekiko. Maybe a second one if you stay among the ones that stay late.
Because it's a statement piece.
When everybody's gone and just a few, and then you order for a κάνεις παραγγελία μουσική. The way I see it, you sit down with your friends, you eat, you drink, φορτώνεις, you get energy.
You're loading up.
You're loading up, and then suddenly you listen to the song and you want to give it out.
Let go.
So you just do it, and then that's it. You're empty again. So you need to start again. So you can't be dancing all night.
Yeah. That's a great way of looking at it.
I don't know about you, but I've always got energy when it comes to Zeibekiko, and I'm always giving it away.
So just to say, so you only dance at once. So you're loading up. It could be stress, could be anything, could be energy.
Yes.
And then you pick that one song.
That's
and
the
you
formula
let
for the
everything
manga.
go.
The manga formula.
Yeah,
The manga, the true manga, will do what he said.
That's me and Tom.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not me.
So when are you going to dance it for us once? Tonight? Are you coming to join us?
I'll do a knee or something. I'll do a hip.
I've got Voltaren in my bag.
I'll need more
He's
than
got no
that.
cartilage. He's gone.
All right.
No, I've still got it, Tom, I think. No,
Yeah,
I need
you
to drink
do,
a lot.
actually. You're all right.
I need to drink a lot. But I didn't realise. So you only do it once. Yes. And that's what it is. That's the energy. So
Maybe
you're
twice
exuding
later on.
And in Greece and the Korea, or even in Asia Minor, there were people known for their Zeibekiko, and they were the mastores of Zeibekiko, these elder men. And they were like what he said, they'd get up and dance at once, make the statement, and everyone knew that mastora was in that choreo, in that village or that town, and he was the master of that place with his Zeibekiko.
So when you do the you touched on the samiko as well. So that's when you're all holding hands, someone's holding the mandili. The guy at the end does a few moves. Is that similar to a Zeibekiko?
Chamiko is a circle dance.
Yeah,
so
circle dance.
The guy on the first guy
one holding
is,
the mandili.
is the one who's doing the skillful moves.
The scissor kicks.
But that goes for all Greek dances, the ones that are in a circle mainly. Usually the first and the last person that does all the special tricks.
Okay.
The others follow. And, in Samiko, a lot of the time, like I remember my grandfather or whatever they did, not my grandfather, in my grandmother days, they would just all stand there, and the first guy will be doing the same pretty much thing, αυτοσχεδιασμός, self-improvising, but in Samiko, in all our Greek dances, and in all dances pretty much there's self-improvisation, because that shows the skill or really the personality of each person, the magya of each person, or the cheekiness, like I see in you, Mr. Heels or Dog, so the guitar player, or the creativity of each person.
Yeah.
So
I always notice the second guy is the strongest. He's got big forearms.
like you're holding them
He's
up.
got to hold him up. Yeah. So
That's the Piroti in him.
That's right. Okay.
It's the hunting for bears.
But Samikos is such a Levitical
bears,
dance.
mate,
It's when the men dance it can go up. It's there with the Zeibekiko level, the real good Samiko
I love
guys.
it.
Because that holds such levitia, just like Zeibekiko. I loved Samiko.
Look, when we were in the 90s, we used to go out. As soon as
I'm looking
Rosa
here.
would
Let's see.
come
Can
on,
we put you in a white skirt?
You know what? You would look good in that. I can see you.
And not an Evzon, in that Solia. Evzon are the guards, at Sidagma, the Fruri, the guards at Solia. Okay.
Isn't it the same thing?
No, to me they're different. F zones are the guards in front of the.
Yeah, but they would do wear the.
They wear the
They
same
wear
outfit.
similar outfits, but I don't see them doing chucking their legs in the air. They only do that slow,
they got that
slow
big
motion
kick.
marching and the kick. That's up to where their fustanella goes. But your ipirotiki fustanella, which is a nice soria, and you'll be holding a madili, and I can picture you holding this young man. No, I can picture you jumping up in the air. I can see your white undies while you're jumping in the air. It'll be amazing.
I'd be pulling a hamstring.
Come on.
You'll be fine.
I can see you doing it.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we used to do it. Like I said, it was when we were growing up, without knowing what I know now, it was a cool dance, confident dance. You got out there and I hear what you're saying. You got to get in the zone, that sort of stuff. But we never thought it was like an underground, bad dance. What you said earlier, like I don't think you need to come out and preach it to everyone to say it's a good, positive dance. I don't think people.
I never said it was an underground dance. Did I say that?
No. You said it was more like.
No, I said during a small time, during the Zeibekiko.
People don't like it. There's elements of our community that don't see it as a respectful dance. The
Rebetes went through a time where, because they were either drunk or on drugs or something.
Probably skipped our generation.
They were what they called the underground kutukia, and they were the places where they'd meet and talk.
Yes. And they were called the apagorevmena Zeibekika.
Oh, because there
were
songs.
And the lyrics, they were not allowed to be sing outside, just in
because of government
underground.
control at the time.
But that was what, 1920s,
yes,
1930s.
That was an era, a small era.
This is when the cops were going around breaking baglamadas and buzukia.
Buzukia, and that's where the baglama came. They could hide it in their coat.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, fascinating. Oh, I love it. Well, what do you reckon, Tom? I reckon you've still got it.
No,
you're
not
young
at
enough.
All. Not at all. I'll stick to playing the guitar.
You can come to the workshops. We have a men's workshop in a couple of days. You can come to that. Yeah.
Well, we might have to give it a go, Nick. I mean, I'm not against trying it.
Yeah.
I'm self-aware enough to know I'm terrible at it.
I love looking and watching you, Christos. My God, fucking amazing.
Isn't he?
It has to be said.
Wow, cool.
I mean, we've just shown the video.
I was going to say, every Greek guy wants to be like you. When you dance that dance, it's fucking cool. It's like a cool dance,
100%.
mate. So congratulations, mate.
Well, this is where I want to sort of finish it, right? Yeah. Because to me, I mean, you and I always talk about, like major sporting events, right? Those moments, that try that was scored or that, amazing goal or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Equally to that, though, in my mind, there's always like memorable moments with a Zeibekiko at some event.
Good question.
There's got to be one event for you guys, or there's got to be one performance that has just stuck with you, because I've certainly got mine. But is there one performance that you guys have seen or have performed even, where it's just like that was it? That's something, θα μείνει αξέχαστο.
I do have one that was done last year. I was in Romania, Bucharest, and they were holding up a Greek party. I was really in a good mood, and I put a nice song, Vertis. I felt like dancing, but before I took my glass and I went round and I did like a cheer to everyone, because I didn't want to just go there and perform. I wanted them to give me energy, get them with me so I can give them back the energy. That dance, I enjoyed it a lot, and when I finished, I said, that's it, I'm done. I can go and sleep now. Yeah. I'm done.
Wow. Brilliant.
Fantastic. What about you, Sophia?
All right, for me, quite a few years ago, more than 20, maybe 30. I'm not going to give out my age. I'm still 21 when I did Zeibekiko only. I was at a concert and I had my dancers dancing, and they wanted a lady to do a Zeibekiko. Impromptu, I just got up and there was a young girl. She's actually a famous singer now in Greece, Marina something, I don't know. And she sang Anikse Petra. And I just got up on that stage at Marrickville Town Hall with 600 people. And it was videotaped. You actually can find it on YouTube. It's called Woman Zeibekiko, and you see a young version of Sophia dancing. And that was a moment that I still remember. Yeah, it was wonderful. Wow. I felt exactly what he said. He connected with the crowd. I just went in there. I connected, and I just danced. It was all improvisation.
What about you, Nick? There's got to be.
Well, I've already mentioned it. It was that night at Stecky. I never forget. It was a bunch of Greeks and Anglo-Australians that came along and having a massive Greek feast at Stecky. We're having the Sirtiko wine, the Santorini wine. It was a beautiful night. And I was just in a good mood. It was a good vibe. I'm trying to, I don't know, teach our Australian friends on our Greek culture and the music and all that sort of stuff. And we started dancing. I don't remember the song though. It was definitely a Zeibekiko dance. And I had my eyes closed for a bit, and I just felt that vibe, that energy. And then when I opened my eyes, everyone was on the ground clapping me, one knee, and I felt just this really good aura. And when I opened my eyes, it brought me back to reality. But for about a good 30 seconds, a minute, I was in that zone. I thought, wow, what a place. Where am I? You know, it was just the music coming right through me and that energy. And I didn't feel like I was on the planet. I don't know where I was, but the way you've described it, that's where I was for about 30 seconds.
It was healing for you, wasn't it?
Right?
It was healing, because Zeibekiko was actually very healing.
It is. Definitely. And I felt radiant afterwards. Like a big weight off my shoulders had lifted. It was, it's hard to describe, but people who have been there would understand it. So, amazing. That's me. What about you, mate?
For me, I mean, I was fortunate at our wedding. We got married in Greece, and we had, as I've said many times, I'm terrible at dancing, but fortunately there are people in the family who are very good at it. And huge shout out to my Theo Nico, and a very good friend of ours, Lefteris Bozikis. Those two together, and they danced together very often, took it upon themselves to perform that night because they
see
knew.
them?
Yes, you have seen them.
Corfu, yeah.
Yes. And they took it upon themselves because they knew that I wasn't particularly big on it. And they did it for me. I mean, I had to go later. But the performance that those guys put in that night, unbelievable. And my Bethero as well. And they all had their own song, and it was amazing. And to me personally, just that aura and the understanding that these guys have done it for me was amazing. Slightly different to everyone else's, obviously.
Well said.
Beautiful.
I can visualize. I met your Theo Nico, and we're at that restaurant. But what I liked about them, they were just walking around the crowd, serving piateles, all that sort of stuff. And all of a sudden, a song came on, and he looked at, what was I can't remember the other guy's name. Yeah. Was it Lefteri? Yeah. He just looked at him, looked at each other, bame. They went in the middle, and they danced this solo song, both of them. It was fucking fantastic. And everyone stood up clapping. Wow, it was amazing.
The thing is, Nico's like you, though. There's barely any cartilage left, Yeah. he's done.
Too many years of sport.
That's right. Well, wow. Look, again, I mean, we've barely scratched the surface when it comes to this stuff. And we want to acknowledge that, obviously, because you guys have dedicated your lives to this. So, I mean, a 2-hour episode, you could do it a whole season on this, and it still wouldn't be enough, which is why you guys do what you do. Where can people find you on social media or websites or all that sort of thing? How can people get in touch with you?
And where is your dance school in Cyprus as well?
We are based in Nicosia. We actually have...
So you need to fly there.
Yes.
We've got secrets that listen. We're around the world.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
We are in Nicosia. Our website, www.shakallisdance.com. Or they can get through my Facebook page, Christos Shakallis page, or in Instagram. We do run, there are 3 studios, and we teach everyday classes. I mean, it's an academic year from September to June. And at the end of June, we put up like a big show at the theater.
Beautiful.
So it's nice. It's also a social thing. Dancing is not just learning steps. It's socializing, exercising, belong to a group that you have a same purpose and the same interest. And a lot of people, they come after work, the classes, and they're stressed, and they dance, they listen to music, and then they say, now our mind is clear and we can go and relax and get ready for a new day. So it's a healing.
Beautiful. So it's like therapy.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. Fantastic. Well done.
And Sophia.
Yourself.
Okay, Zeibekiko Festival. We hope to be with you again next year and the year after and the year after that.
Absolutely.
You can
so
find us
every year now, is it?
Yes. Well,
and
we've had the
first.
Zeibekiko Festival is a series of events at different venues, and it will change all the time. This year we started off with workshops. Then we had a massive event at the Mytilene House. There was over 350 attendees, including the dancers. And we chose that venue because the first wave of refugees, or a big wave of refugees, went to Mytilene after the Asia Minor catastrophe, and they're very heavily into the Asia Minor tradition. Anyway, back to that. You can find us at Zeibekiko Festival Australia Sophia Ventouris on Facebook, or School of Greek Dance on Facebook, or Sophia Ventouris on Insta. And also there's a schoolofgreekdance.com.au is my dance school website. So if you just type Zeibekiko Festival Australia, it'll just flow up, fly up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, guys. It's been
It was an honour tasting this ouzo, even though it burnt my throat. And it kind of brushed my teeth. Thank you very much. No tzatziki breath left.
Yeah.
No, beautiful.
Well, Nick, ouzotalk@outlook.com is the email. Follow us on social media @ouzotalk and @ouzo_talk and on YouTube. Nick Athanasiou, thank you very much, mate.
Bravo, mate. Well done, Tom. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Ακολουθήστε μας στο Soundees, στο Spotify, στο Apple Podcasts και στο Google Podcasts.